All right, here we go. The Trash Mouth Fantasy Football Week 2 podcast show. We have the six shooters just walked out of the waiting room with a nice ice cold glass of cherry wheat and a little steak sauce on his upper right lip from the ribeye. Welcome to the show.
Yum, yum. Victory tastes so sweet.
All right, before we start, we have an interruption. We have a Ryan Fitzpatrick brief press conference.
No, it's just game day.
Well, he's a six-shooter now.
Tonight you don't drink chocolate milk and something like that.
The boys want chocolate milk again, so I think that's what we're going to go with.
All right, there you go. Ryan Fitzpatrick on the six shooters. And he definitely likes to have his outerwear looking pretty much like Deshaun Jackson, or End Zone Freaks would call him D-Jack. Anyway, 29-point blowout, six shooters. You blew out the Bombers. You had the most points scored against you last week, and you rebounded big time.
Yeah, I did. It was a great week all around, top to bottom for my team. You know, my receivers and especially my running back stepped up for me this week. You know, that's why I drafted these guys. They're on great teams, good offenses, great quarterbacks. These guys are playmakers, and I expect this kind of production every week from these guys.
Six shooters with 9 receiving touchdowns from his running backs and wide receivers combined through 2 weeks. That leads the Trash Mouth Fantasy Football League. Six shooters, you just got your 191st career win. Number 1 all time in the league. What are your thoughts about that?
Hey, it's just the longevity of, you know, I do my homework. I study the stats. I also play my gut. You know, I've also been around the longest, so I've had more opportunities. But, you know, getting close to 200, that's a nice milestone. I'm looking to reach that this year, no doubt about it. I'll be at 200 wins, at least 200 wins this year.
All right, six shooters, guaranteeing he's going to have a 10-plus victory season. All right, you picked up Fitzmagic this morning with the fastest finger at 9 a.m. in 2 seconds. What are your thoughts about Fitzmagic?
Hey, I'm going to ride it while it's hot. You know, Winston coming back before, maybe not, but they got a great matchup against the Steelers on Monday night, got last legs, you know. He's playing like his job depends on it, which it does. You know, Winston's breathing down his neck. The receivers are Evans and D-Jack are balling out, you know. Defense is playing well, a little bit well. So, yeah, I'm going to ride him while he's hot, you know. And if not, you know, hey, I still got a pretty, you know, top 10 quarterback in Winston when he comes back. So, no downside for me right now.
All right. His week 3 opponent is upcoming, the Psychos. He's had a tremendous record over him the last 5-6 years. I don't know if you realize this inside stat from Wendy at the Trash Mouth Trend Track Center in New York City on 5th Avenue. The last 3 years, you have scored the most points on week number 3. So that's pretty much saying there's a very good chance that you could do another online order for the waiting room for another cherry wheat, maybe a skirt steak, a little mac and cheese. What are your thoughts about going for 4 years in a row, most points on week 3?
I love it. Just, you know, I want to keep adding my name to the record book. You know, that's what determines our careers. It'd be a nice achievement, you know. And it's, you know, I got a little tough matches this week, but I think with the move I made this morning, that gives me an advantage with taking out the Psychos this week. I definitely can be.
Okay, the six shooters talking about his upcoming matchup. He just rang out 79 points. It wasn't even close. He's on the podcast. You got to score big points to get on this show. You want to trash talk? You could do it on text. You could do it on voicemail. You could do it live. But there ain't no substitute for telling the whole world what you're talking about. All right, it's that time. It's the parting shots. What does the six shooters have to say? And say it with pride.
First, I'm going to call out Whoopi. I mean, you squeaked out a victory this week, and you had a comeback from you last week, but I still think that you're pretty much a pretender. We'll see how you do later on in the year. Defending champ, hey, 0-2. You know, you ran into a couple of rough weeks, but hey, the hardest thing to do is repeat. You know, you keep your chin up there, and you can have my leftovers with Andrew Luck. That's no problem. All right, I'm done with him anyway. As far as the rest of the league, right now I'm just gonna go at Psychos and take him out.
All right, the six shooters telling the league what's the deal. And once again, just like Deion Sanders says late night on NFL Network, if you ball, you're definitely going to get the call. And Sal got the call from the 631.
Oh, yeah. My space next week, too.
All right, this concludes week number 2 edition of the Trash Mouth Fantasy Football Podcast Show. We thank six shooters for joining us. It's on a rainy Tuesday. And we could see you back next week if the trends are correct from Wendy 3 years in a row in week 3.
Hey, Wendy's my girl. I trust her. Trend is going to keep going.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Glad to be here. I'll see you guys next week.